Well, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. We are back. Brothers don't give up, they overcome. And I want to make sure that we're visible and audible. And we want to make sure that any of our guests that intend to be here are here, because it's lunchtime live with none other than Joshua Generation with Pastor Mel Keys. And my special guest today is none other than mighty man of valor, H. Sam Sanders. And let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, last week we got this party started. I believe it was Friday, correct? It was Friday.
It was.
And man, let me tell you, the challenges and the difficulty. Hey, Pastor, the challenges and the difficulties that we had to overcome. I'm telling you, I mean, we almost threw the computer out, but we found out that was warfare. Is that right, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, we went through some stuff to get this thing together, and I'm so grateful that we did not give up. Let me just say to you as you're coming in, Pastor Ronson, love you, man. Thank you for all your great posts and everything. Maddie, hello, darling. Katrina, hello, darling. Good to see you all. If you all would help us to share this broadcast, we're just going to enjoy lunch with one another, and we have a lot of great information that's going to be shared with our special guest today. He's going to bless our hearts. He's going to unpack and unload his mind. we're gonna get a powerful mind today. Amen.
You mean your mind?
We're gonna get the nuggets, the jewels, the trinkets. We getting everything today, y'all. Y'all go get the chest out. We gonna get some stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, what I was saying was, don't give up so soon. Don't give up so quickly, so readily, man. We struggled last week. Now I've done this presentation, interviews, I've done them for 5, 6, 7 years. The topic we're going to interview, Sharon, thanks. That's a great question. We're going to interview this mighty man of God, and he's going to talk about business from the travel industry and all it takes to overcome the mindsets that hold us back when we don't, amen, keep moving forward like we had to deal with on Friday, because we put in 90 minutes troubleshooting, and this was prior to the call.
Mm-hmm.
This was prior to getting started. Here we are, done it 1,000 times, but just couldn't pull it off. And I know it was some warfare there, and some of y'all don't believe in that, but I'm telling you, the enemy didn't want that message to go out. And there were people on that were being blessed, I mean, left and right. And the next thing you know, it was gone. Disappeared. You know? Made us a little sad, but we know what we needed to do. So
yes, we're not discouraged, man. We understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
There you go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get this party started. Sharon, thank you so much for coming in with us. Miss Maddie, thank you. Mighty man of valor, Pastor Ronson Hall, thank you so much. And Katrina is in the house. Thank y'all for tuning in. And thank you for sharing with someone else, because I believe that we're all here for one point, and that is to be a blessing to someone else. God wants to get not just a blessing to us, but through us. And I'm grateful to have this partnership. Let me just say this. I'm going to preface his introduction with this. I met this man of God in the beginning of this year, and he's become one of the strong sources of inspiration and encouragement in my life. Obviously, just meeting him this year, we've not known each other long, but maybe you've had this type of experience as well. God is so speeding up the depth of certain things. And I think it's because time is just running out. And what used to take folk 5 years, we're seeing it happen in 5 months. And I'm just grateful that some people come into your life for a reason, a season, and some for life. I think this is a brother that we're going to have many wonderful encounters for decades to come, if the Lord says the same. And I'm just grateful to have him in my life. Thank you, H. Sam, for your encouragement, your inspiration. You always have something refreshing and empowering to say, not only privately to me, but even publicly. And that means the world, man. So thank you so very much for your friendship.
You're welcome, my brother. Likewise, likewise.
Amen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a brother. You can hear the accent for yourself. And yes, it's straight out of Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
And I didn't know much. I didn't know much about Jamaica, obviously, because I didn't know about a Spanish town. But you were born and raised in Spanish Town, and we're going to be hearing from a brother who has a vast wealth of knowledge and experience in corporate America, ranging from Wall Street. This brother has been there, done that, T-shirt and a hat. He's worked on the cruise lines as an engineer, the former Royal Caribbean. Amen. Well, they're still doing what they're doing, but he's not doing what he was doing as an engineer on the cruise ships. And he's been a part of several organizations that have been making a difference in a grassroots manner. Organization known as Access to Justice. He's been a board member in the city of New York. And he's a travel specialist for several years, and he lives now in Dallas. So, man of God, again, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for your time. You can be doing 1,000 other things. It means the world that we got some time to spend with each other on today.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right. So take us where we were on last week. We started with you telling us a little bit about your coming up years, growing up in Spanish Town, Jamaica. What was that like, man?
Okay, man. It was exciting. I mean, I had a great childhood growing up. Just did everything that kids would normally do.
Right.
Being mischievous and had great parents who kind of paved the way, and they were pretty much disciplinarian. So there's certain things that you just know that you just could not get involved in, but nevertheless, you just do just the normal things that kids do, I remember, getting baptized very young. I was about 14 years old, and that kind of put me on a path, because I saw a lot of people that I knew growing up. Some of them lost their lives. Some guys, went to prison, and I just didn't want that type of life for myself. So from a very young age, my father was actually a cop. So, that goes, so back there again, you know what I mean? You have to.
Conversations.
Exactly. And when your father tells you that he will lock you up personally, you know what I mean? So you have to kind of stay on the straight and narrow. So, I had a great childhood, and, at age 21, actually, I left Jamaica. But, back up a little bit, I remember, I think I was about 9 years old when I saw the Love Boat on TV. And I used to run home from church every Sunday afternoon, wanted to watch the Love Boat, wanted to catch a Love Boat. And I just, I've always just envisioned myself. And that's why I know that dreams do come true, because if you set your mind on a certain thing and you work towards it, I'm a firm believer that it can happen. Yeah. And, just saw myself working on a cruise ship at a very young age. And I would live, breathe, sleep, eat, whatever it takes. But that was just a thing that was just on my mind. And I was very fortunate, when I first came to the U.S., my first job was with actually Admiral Cruises. I spent a few months with them, then I left and I went to Royal. And, the same port that the Love Boat sailed out of, man, the World Port in San Pedro, California, to see my ship docking behind the very same Love Boat, the very same run as the Love Boat. That was like mind-blowing, because, of course, the very thing you dreamt about, you see it happening. So you know what that actually did? It made me realize at a very young age that whatever you set your mind to, and as long as you're consistent and persistent, then you can pretty much overcome those challenges and get to where you need to be.
Wow. Yep. So the vision that you had at a young age comes to fruition in your early 20s. You have this passion for travel, and there you find yourself now working on cruise ships.
There you go. Wow. Boilers, generators, you name it.
Yeah.
Diesel generators, you name it. Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to get into the travel a little bit later, but I still would like to hear more about you. Tell us about some of the, besides your father, who was a police officer, tell us about some of the other role models and mentors and coaches in your life. Who were some of the people that you bounced things off of, gave you great counsel, kind of, parents are the foundation. We understand that, but thank God, accompanying the parents that God gives us, there are often other people that make an everlasting impact in our lives. Did you have some of those?
Oh yeah. I remember coming here, and one of the first I would say mentor from a distance. I remember, working on the ship, and I remember seeing I think it was I don't remember if it was a infomercial or commercial or what, but I saw Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins. Yeah, that was like one of the first person I saw. This was like over 30 years ago. Saw Tony Robbins, and it's just the way how this guy spoke into my life.
Yeah.
That pretty much started to shape my mindset and set me on a path that I knew exactly from there that I could pretty much just overcome challenges. So Tony Robbins, I would say, would probably be one of the first from a motivational standpoint that really allowed me to realize I could, do anything that I set my mind to.
Right. Now let me ask you on the faith level. A lot of folk go to church. That's great. What was the role that your personal faith played out in your life, especially in your younger years, from your 20s into your manhood? How did you see your faith, what you learned as a young man at church and all of that? How did you see it becoming personal for you?
Well, you know what? I had a great pastor. I came from a very strict, apostolic background. If you know anything about that, very strict apostolic background. And I mean, those teachings at the time as a youngster, they weren't easy. You know what I mean? But then after you look back on your life, you realize that you come from some great teachers. His name was Pastor Beckford. I passed away a couple of years ago, but just one of those men who helped to shape my life. There's a lot of things I couldn't see back then, but then that was one of the pretty much the first time I was introduced to having a pastor, so to speak. But like I said, he came from a very strict background, and even though it wasn't pretty, but at the same time, you're looking back on your life, that tend to save you from a whole lot of stuff that you probably could have got yourself involved with. And then there's the Noel Jones, the same church that you're familiar with Noel Jones. He's actually from Spanish Town, Jamaica as well. Came from the same church background. So there were a lot of preachers back then that were influencing my life, that pretty much helped to shape the foundation of who or my perception as to who God is. Of course, they preach the word, but then again, you have to apply it. You know what I mean? You have to know God for yourself at the end of the day. So, and I mean, there's a lot more. There's a lot more, believe me. Great men, apostolic preachers that pretty much helped to shape I would say my future, pretty much.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that, because it's one thing just to hear, but to have relationship with the people of God, the family of God. I think it's so crucial today that so many people, they just go to church. Church is not something to go to. Church is something we're to become, and we're to have relationships that are substantial and meaningful. And here it is. Now you're 40, right?
Forever.
So you're still keeping that foundation. Praise God. I've got my big sis, Pastor Deborah Taylor. She's apostle in her own right. Her and her husband, Apostle God. Shout out to them. She says Bishop Noel is the truth. And then we got the woman of God, Sharon Parker. She says she loves the churches in Jamaica. You come from great teachers. And she's talking about the Love Boat. She says she remembers. I remember. You're going to make me go back and search something on YouTube. It's been about 20 years since I've seen it. I remember some of the names. So praise God. Thank y'all for chiming in. We love your comments. We love your feedback. Thank you so very much, everybody. Help us to share this message and get this word out. Also want to give a shout out to Apostle Guy, the husband of Pastor Deborah. He's recuperating. We believe he'll be home soon. He just had a kidney transplant.
Wow.
Pastor Deborah, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was on the list for 7 months, which there are so many who stay on that list for decades, and God blessed him just like that, and that kidney got in there, and it set off, and everything started working. Go ahead and put that testimony in there, woman of God, and give God some glory on that. So we want to thank God for that. Now, listen, guys, we're going to go in deep to this man of God because he has a wealth of knowledge as it relates to business and just overall life philosophy. You also became a part of a grassroots organization, and you were talking about, it's called Access to Justice in New York. Can you tell us about your affiliation with that?
Well, yeah, I actually, I lived in Westchester County, New York at the time. And, they were looking for leaders around the county to pretty much come together, pastors, bishops, ministers, you name it, wanted to allow, in other words, to bridge the community with the judicial process. And, because, a lot of people live in different cities or towns, but still don't really know the workings of government and understanding their rights. So this was called Access to Justice, which simply means that we serve as a bridge or a liaison to the community. So we would pretty much meet at the Supreme Court and, have meetings and being able to bring the heads of government out to the different neighborhoods for the average person or everyday citizens, to be able to get their questions answered on various topics, whether it's the judicial process in terms of incarceration, whether it's from pretty much just all the different areas that affects the different communities, from the local government standpoint. So we pretty much were the bridge that brought these people together to be able to understand the workings of government.
That is so crucial. We have Sharon here commenting. She's very familiar with the organization itself. And I just want to say that in today's times, and I know it's nothing new, there's nothing new under the sun, but we are so scattered and fractured, I believe, polarized is the best word, I think, in our thinking, where there are not enough bridges. We know that not everybody has the same experience, and we should know that not everybody thinks alike, but there are certain things that we all ought to be able to agree upon as Americans, as human beings. And as such, we need more people to rise to the occasion, I believe, and become bridges to get the people who are not in the know with those who are in the know and just make great things happen. Would you agree?
Of course, absolutely, absolutely. Because when you're not informed, I mean, there's chaos. You see what I'm saying? When you're not informed of what's happening in your community or at the local government standpoint, a lot of people, they know about social services, but they really don't understand the workings of how that works, child protective services, they don't know how, they know about it, but they don't know how that works, real estate, person that is in charge of that. People don't know how they can go about getting a home. There's several ways they can go about becoming a homeowner. So, all these different entities, we were able to bring these heads of government out so that people could get their questions answered, and at the same time being educated by these heads of government to give them a clear understanding about their rights and why it's important for them as citizens to be able to capitalize on some of the things that they don't know about.
That's good. What did you say the other week? Our people are destroyed for a lack of
knowledge. There you go.
We got to be in the know. We got to know what's going on, because if we don't know, I mean, remember back in school, maybe it was the same for you in Jamaica as it was for me in Brooklyn. There was a saying, what you don't know can't hurt you. What a lie.
Exactly. That's so true, man. That is so true.
My God,
that is so true. That is so true, man. Yeah. But you know what? Knowledge is power. And sometimes, again, that goes back to what I was saying. When you don't know certain things, when you don't know, pretty much that's why this call is so important. So people can understand that there's so many things out there. But, sometimes you have to just be that thinker to just know that why is it that some people are getting by and some people aren't getting by? There is a reason. Yeah. It simply means that some people are informed and some people aren't. You know what I'm saying? And no wonder why they say common sense ain't common, because if you don't have the basic common sense to say, listen, how comes John or Mary is getting by and they seem to be just sailing on through life. It's simply because of the information that they have gotten, and that's just pretty much what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Exactly, and a lot of us are not privy, and that is the reason why when we have that thought, we have to ask questions. Yes. And believe it or not, when you start asking questions, you will get some answers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but you got to know what to ask.
Exactly. That's
why we don't even know what to ask.
There you go.
I picked up a brother, hey Sam, and we went to the studio to do a little interview at the station. And when I picked him up, normally the way I go to the station from my home is a particular route. But when I picked him up, I was going to go the same way. He said, no, don't go. I said, no, this is, I'm rushed for time. I want to make sure I don't kill any time. He said, no, this is going to get you there quicker. Trust me. He said, trust me. I said, all right, brother, I won't be late. I'm so glad I listened. This brother knew the way to get there.
Exactly.
And it called at least 15 minutes. At least 15 minutes. And too many times we're trying to do something, and because we don't know, and we're not willing to follow anyone or connect with someone who knows, we waste valuable resources trying to get to where it is we could already be.
That's so true.
See that in every area of life.
So true.
Sharon says, knowledge is power. Be a thinker, be informed.
There you go, Sharon.
Occasion. Work together in your community. I love it. Thank you, Sharon. We sure appreciate your feedback. Man of God, you've been in the business world for many years now, and I honor you as such, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman. Tell us some of the philosophies that you've acquired over the space of time that have helped you to get to where you are, and that's furthermore taking you to where you know you're going. Okay.
Well, first of all, one of the first thing when I first got into the industry of network marketing, let me even kind of back up. First, you have to have a passion and you have to have a desire. You have to have that. You have to have that. If you don't have the passion or the drive or wanting to succeed, then forget it. And then I just started surrounding myself with just great leaders. I saw men in the industry that I pretty much emulate. I wanted to pretty much be like those men. I saw them as just great leaders. Some of them, they were great fathers, great husbands, just well-rounded. And you just realize that in order for you to be successful in life, you have to find successful people to hang around. One of my mentors always said that if you hang around losers, you're gonna catch something called loserism. You know what I mean? And it's not so true. Again, that was pretty much the first thing I did. Just started surround myself with people that could, help me and get me to where I needed to go. And that was the foundation. And when again, like I said, when you surround yourself with the right people, then you're going to get the right information. And when you get the right information, then that's going to put you on a path where you realize that there are going to be some challenges, there are going to be obstacles along the way. But if you believe in something bad enough, and stick with it, then, it will pretty much come true. It will come true as long as you stick with it.
I love it. I notice here, I see some great leaders that we definitely want to be connected to. Of course, we have Apostle Deborah Taylor, we have Lady Sharon Parker, and we have my big sis, the queen of leadership, Dr. Sita. Hello, my darling. It's good to see you online with us on the day. Hey, Sam, man, you blessed us with that, because the law of connection is what some people have known it to be, of surrounding yourself with, and of course, connecting yourself every possibility you can. Somebody said it this way: don't be the smartest person in the room. In fact, you want to stay.
There you go. There you go. Don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You know what I mean? People like Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg. Trust me, they're not the smartest person in the room. No. They hire great minds. Exactly.
I love it, man. Thank you so very much. So the thing of it is, we got to get to a spot where we're connecting with the right people and even the right opportunity. And you had that passion way back when you just saw the Love Boat, right? And now here it is many years later. I mean, even after you were working on the ship as an engineer, but now you're in the travel industry. Now, let me say this. Things have changed so much in our favor. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're missing this, you are missing this. Things have shifted. Things have so drastically changed. The fact that you can even see us on this presentation right now. I mean, how many decades it was ago that for gentlemen like ourselves, ladies on this broadcast, for us to even do something like this, we would have needed to have a major network behind our name, a great following. We would have had to invest tens of thousands of dollars, so forth and so on. But now look at what we're able to do because of the changes, because of the transitions. There was a time that if you were going to be in the travel business in any kind of meaningful way, man, you were going to have to come off about 100,000, at least 100 grand to get in position.
Exactly.
Get in position. So talk to us from that perspective. What has changed to our favor, to our advantage, and tell us your experience with the travel, your beginning experience with the travel industry as a whole.
Well, what has changed actually is the fact that the way how people normally would travel, that has pretty much you are able to travel wholesale versus retail.
Right,
I'm saying? You're able to travel wholesale versus retail. You know, people are traveling every day, but they don't realize that now, you know, all those search engines that you see out there, whether it's Priceline, Kayak, Cheap or Air, all those are search engines. But now we're able to know hotels.com, you know, but now we're able to pretty much, you know, own a piece of the pie, so to speak, you know, become a franchise owner of the travel space. And I think that's beautiful because now you cut out the middleman. So now we're able to see deals that the general public don't get to see. We're able to not change the way how people do things, you know, but now being able to save money, and everybody wants to save money. You know, the unfortunate thing I think with our world is that because we're so systematically driven, you know, and I just kind of want to stretch that out a little bit because we're so systematically driven. Sometimes when we're faced with an opportunity that will allows us to save money, we don't jump on those opportunities because we become creatures of habit, so to speak. You know, we're used to going to hotels.com, we're used to going to Priceline, we're used to going to all of these search engines and book our flight, book our hotels, book our cruises. So now we don't realize that this platform has now put us in a position. It's the same cruise line, it's the same airlines, it's the same resort, it's the same hotel, but they don't realize now they can save money. When I think it was Saturday night, I went on looking at some hotels in Las Vegas. I saw some hotels of $15 a night, and these are hotels that are $150 a night, $15 a night, $17 a night, $20 a night. You know, so when people see us traveling, they're like, "Wait a second, these guys are always traveling," not realizing that we're traveling wholesale versus retail. Man, and who don't want to save some money in today's marketplace? Everybody wants to save money.
Man, you just hit it on the head. I want to even simplify it, and I want you to help us to do this even a little further. I want you to think about how there was such a time from what we call eras, an industrial era, the agricultural era, and there were different means to which man as a whole was able to take care of himself and provide for his family. Now I believe many scientists are saying we're in a relational era, and one where it's about your network determining your net worth, not just making an income based upon what you can do by yourself alone as an individual. Seeing that your tribe, seeing that your community, seeing that everybody can take part in something, a piece of the pie, as you said, together, and raise and elevate the game for everybody at the same time, where everybody can win. Can you speak on that as a whole?
Oh yeah, and you're absolutely right with that question there. We were taught, you know, how to, you know, there is a difference between linear income and passive income. You know, we were taught to trade hours for dollars. That's pretty much what we were taught. You know, go to school, get your degree, and then get a good job. And we all use the terminology a lot of times, just on bills. The word job means just on bills or just over broke. You know, that's living from paycheck to paycheck. You know, but let me also say this, that network marketing has been around for generations, for forever. It has been around for a very long time. But we were never taught this way of how to make money. We were taught, again, linear income. And because of that, we find that sometimes people struggle, or we struggle, because you're trying to make ends meet. And if you're trying to make ends meet, then you're in a terrible situation. People have 2 jobs, 3 jobs. And if you have 2 and 3 jobs, you know, I always say that 2 jobs are for 2 people. But if you have 2 and 3 jobs, then it tells me something, that 1, you're trying to make ends meet, and 2, you won't have any time for yourself. If you have 3 jobs, you know, your husband and wives they pass each other, you know, going in and out, not being able to spend time with each other. So we were pushing a system that allows us to not being able to spend time at home, but spending time with the boss. And not even so much with the boss, because a lot of times the boss isn't there. You know, the owner of the company isn't there. He's probably somewhere in the Mediterranean on a cruise somewhere, enjoying. But guess what? He's living and making a great living because you are there working for him. Wow. What this platform, network marketing, or the travel space has allowed us to do is to be able to build together. And if you notice with every organization, and it's just so funny how, you know, people can meet for prayer, they can meet for fasting, they can meet for so many things. They can meet for, there's so many organizations out there. They can always meet to help, you know, to whether it's giving back or something. But you realize that most people don't gather together to make money. They don't come together to create passive income, doing something one time and keep getting paid over and over and over again. You know, I usually use the term, I said, you have a cell phone. How many times you got the cell phone? One time. How many times you pay the bill? Every month. Exactly. How many times you get a brand new car? How many times you got the car? One time. How many times you pay that car note? Every month. So that concept really, you know, speaks to me, because if we can come together, find a medium such as the travel space, because we don't have no product selling in terms of nothing shipping, no shipment on anything. I think it's a great platform for us to come together and being able to network together. And most importantly, one thing I love about this business is that we're helping each other. You know, talk about spillovers. People don't know that. We have what is called spillovers, where people are dropping into your business and you're pretty much benefited as long as you do your part. As long as you participate in your own rescue. So I love the fact that, you know, I'm helping a lot of people, because that's the bottom line right there, to help as many people. Zig Ziglar said it best. He said, the more people that you help get what they want, by default, you get what you want. So, man, I love this. I love residual income. It's the best thing ever, man. The best thing ever.
This is some good stuff. Sharon says travel wholesale versus retail.
There you go.
It says now is the time to plan your vacation. Visit St. Thomas Virgin Islands. We're coming, Dr. Sita. Coming. Amen. Be in a network with your tribe. Amen. This is some good stuff. I want you to use another should be a commonly known story. Back in the day, I invested a lot of money in a thing called Hollywood Video and Blockbuster Video, because every time I would get videos from my kids, they never could find them. We were supposed to be renting them, and I had to go and pay for the things because they never could find them. And then after they closed, oh, here's this video here now. So long story short, remember when there was the Blockbuster in the Hollywood? I think I saw something on the news about a month or 2 ago that there were like maybe just a handful full left across the whole country, because they obviously went out of business. And people were often curious about what happened. Well, what happened was things changed.
Exactly.
There was a thing that came to pass called Netflix.
Exactly.
And Redbox, among a few. right?
There you go. There you go.
Can you kind of compare that powerful movement? Because here we're dealing with, these were multi-billion-dollar corporations. The CEOs themselves, not only did they have million-dollar careers, but their bonuses were in the millions of dollars. The annual bonus. And they thought they had it made for a lifetime. And here comes small companies without any reputation, without any name or anything, but a desire to prove themselves. And really, they tried to collaborate, but it didn't quite go the way that it should have went. And as a result, one became history, and one became our present day and our future. Netflix and Redbox, I believe it's called. I mean, our kids know all about those, but when I ask my kids about Hollywood and Blockbuster, they don't seem to remember much. Can you talk to us about how that's again happening, even in the travel industry space, and why we should get in position to take advantage of it?
Well, times are changing. That's number one. Times are changing, and unfortunately, again, goes back to people's mindset. People don't realize that, you know, we're in. I usually use the term microwave generation, where everybody wants everything fast. Everybody wants to be able to have access to things without have to even leave the comfort of their own homes. You know, so when Netflix came about, the blockbusters, were pretty much. And from what I heard, that I think Blockbuster was even offered to partner up with Netflix, I think, and I think they declined. If I'm getting my story on my facts together, but they declined. You know, sometimes people are not able to see beyond where they are, and that is a huge problem with society. You know, that's why they always say that 97 of the world, they go to work. You know what I mean? And 97% of the world go to work, while the 3%ers, are pretty much making the kind of money that most people dream of. And that's the fact. So first of all, the mindset, the Netflix came out with something that was pretty much revolutionized the way people watch movies. People are now able to just put their credit card in, you download the app, and pretty much you're there. You can watch Netflix on your phone. You can watch Netflix, of course, on your smart TV. You can watch Netflix on the go. It's still being able to tap into your movies. So people have to understand that in today's marketplace, you have access to be able to capitalize on the market of travel. Things was done a certain way. I'm not, we're also travel specialists. We're also travel agents. But there was a time when, and it's still around, people, they can drive to a travel agency and they can go book their flights. Right. But we are now travel agents, and someone can actually call us without even leaving the comfort of their own homes. And now we are able to book that cruise, book that car rental, book that resort for that person. So people have to understand that, as technology develops and as time, develops, everything is changing. And if you're not willing to change and have the vision to change with the times, then you're going to be left behind, and you're not able to capitalize on some of the things that we have to that we are doing today, right, from the comfort of our own homes.
So would you agree that so many people are missing it because, here's the word, they don't have the vision to see what's coming?
They don't. Everything, let me say this, everything that we do has to do with our mindset. How we look at things has to do with our mindset. That's it. Because there's some people who are going to see it and some people aren't going to see it. And the reason why they can't see it is, again, they have been blindsided by a system that pretty much dictates to how they behave. And also, let me also say this, the environment that people find themselves in. Who are you friends with? Who do you surround yourself with? What do you want out of life? Where are you going? How do you look at life? How do you see yourself? All those things come into play, and it has to do with how you become successful or moving towards success, so to speak.
Right.
All those things come into play.
Even your expectations, what you expect, even.
One second there. 1 second.
Sure.
I can hardly hear you.
Can you hear me now?
1 second there, my brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brother is unpacking some pearls. I hope you're getting out of this what I'm getting out of it. We would encourage you to stay posted. We have more information to come. Literally, it can just take you from wherever you are, no matter how successful you are, and take you to a whole new level. We all
the sound kind of, I can't hear you. The sound kind of went down there for a second. Don't know what's going on.
Let me get some feedback. We got Georgina. Georgina, she says, without a vision, they will perish. Amen. Georgina, can you hear both of us loud and clear?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, for some reason, give me 1 second. For some reason, I can't hear you. 1 second there.
Sure. If you'll give us some feedback, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I need to know if you're hearing me. I don't want to take it for granted. I want you to let us know if you're hearing our guest, H. Sam Sanders. Let us know if you're able to hear both of us in this case. Okay, we got a feedback from Georgina. She says that she can hear us. Hey, Sam, I'm not hearing you at this time. Are you able to hear and see? We're having some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with us for just one moment. Hey, Sam, your image is frozen. It looks like you're going to need to refresh your screen. You might need to even come back in. I'm not exactly certain, but I certainly want to get you back in because I have some more questions that I know you're just going to knock it out the park. You're really helping a lot of people. So let's see if we can get you back in after you refresh your screen, because it does appear that your image is frozen. So let's take a quick refresh and we'll bring you back in. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your patience. We also want to ask that you would take the time to share this broadcast. We're about to go in a little bit deeper and bring up some great information. And certainly we're looking forward to getting to the St. Thomas Virgin Islands with my sister, none other than Dr. Sikta. We're coming your way, and all the islands. We want to go to every one of them. we don't want to leave anything on God's green earth that has beauty in it. We need to see it all. It should be on our bucket list. And we have a way that you can get there, ladies and gentlemen, literally pennies on a dollar. In fact, we'll show you how you can take dream vacations wherever it is that you want to go on your bucket list, as we call it. Wherever it is, we'll show you how to pay for it for free, literally. So we're looking forward to sharing that information with you. While my guest is coming in, I'm going to do this. I have a commercial that I like to share. I think I got them coming in now. Give me just one moment. Let's see if we can get them.
Are you here? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine now. Hey, Sam, let me do this. I'm going to. Can you hear me? I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear. It must be something on your end. And I want to verify. Yes, sharing is caring, Georgina. Thank you so much. Here's what I'm going to do. Hey, Sam, Dr. Sita, thank you so much. I'm going to share a commercial with you all. And in that commercial, I'm going to share my screen. So y'all stay put for me. Don't go anywhere. Give me just one moment to get this pulled up. Give me just one moment to share it. Just one moment. Just one moment. Getting it ready. Getting it ready. Almost there, guys. Okay, y'all stay with me and let's see if I can share my my desktop.
Can you hear me, my brother?
I can hear you. I'm going to share this commercial. Can you hear me? Stay put. Here we go.
How do you respond? What caused it? Well, we recognize it. We now live.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. I'm sharing the commercial.
Uber is now worth $1 billion, and they don't own a single cab. Their own revolutionize the and they don't own a single hotel room. Instead, they allow ordinary people to rent out spare bedrooms, apartments, and homes for cash. YouTube has 1.3 billion users who watch over 5 billion videos every single day, and its content comes from people just like you and me who want to monetize using their platform. Amazon has become the largest retailer in the world, and over 50% of their sales come from independent and third-party sellers who use their platform to make money. eBay, Groupon, Lyft, Etsy, and PayPal have all cashed in on the same movement and generated untold billions of dollars. Which beckons the question, which industry and which platform will be next? Look no further than the single largest industry on the planet, the travel industry. Simply pull up a list of the top 15 internet companies in the world, and you will see that 3 of them are travel companies. Every time somebody books, they get paid 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. So what if there was a platform where you were given a fully functioning travel site, allowing you to earn money 24/7, just like Expedia and Priceline? And what if your site had the same rates or better, and you could get paid on hotel bookings, rental cars, cruises, excursions, vacation packages, activities, insurance, sporting tickets, concert tickets, and more? And what if you could share this platform with others, allowing you to get paid on an endless number of customers all across the globe? So does this sound like a new movement, a wave? Most people won't see it until it's too late. Will you join the revolution?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I want to thank you for your patience, and I want to get my guest back in position. We've had some difficulty keeping him connected, but bear with us as he comes back in. Want to make sure that we get.
My name is Todd, broadcasting from Southern
Get him
California.
back in.
I want to welcome you to our 2-star factory.
As he tries to come back in, we'll be a little patient here. You just saw a presentation that literally talks about the travel industry. And one of the things that H. Sam pointed out for us is we're in a position now, contrary to the past, where it took literally a miracle for someone to get in the travel industry. Now we're able to get in position, not only as travel agents, but as travel club owners, and travel around the world, literally for pennies on the dollar. We have customers who are getting access to rates that at one time only available to travel agents. Travel agents had the advantage because of not only their training, but what the guest said earlier, your knowledge. Their knowledge base allowed them to be able to get the best deals for themselves, and the relationships they've had with the vendors allowed them to get the best deals for themselves. But they were paying wholesale, but it left us, if we weren't on the inside, it left us paying retail. Now, here's what has happened. We're a part of an opportunity. This movement is extensive, where now customers, without regard, without a requirement for them becoming an agent, just as a customer, you now have access to wholesale rates. And it's all because of a company called P2S. I want to get my guest back in position. So let's just see if I can send him a message real quick. Bear with me as I attempt to get him back in. But you definitely want to get the information. Whoever it is that invited you on this call, this presentation, you want to get that information so that you can
hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh my God, man. I'm sorry, so sorry about that, man.
It's fine, brother.
Me again, my brother.
It's fine, brother. I'm just glad to have you back. What I was sharing is how able we are now to get in position when there was years ago we were locked out unless we were travel agents on wholesale prices. If you were a travel agent, because of the knowledge that you talked about, you had, just incredible rates. Or because of your relationship with vendors, you were able to get incredible rates.
Right.
But everybody else paid retail.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of Pay to Save, that has been in position for 6 years globally around the world, there's an opportunity for anybody without being a travel agent to get wholesale prices on travel. And some people don't know how life-changing that is for folk who love to travel. I want you to quantify that for us. Quantify it and qualify it for us, how critical it is to understand, knowledge-wise, everyone has access to wholesale prices.
Okay. They're saying seeing is believing, and it's unfortunate that we say this every day, Mel. We say this every day. We say this every day to people. But again, it goes back, my prayer today is that the minds of people will be open to understand that you're going to be the things that you normally do, whether you go to a restaurant, whether you go to the movies, whether you book a flight, hotel, car rentals, cruises, everything. These are things you do anyway.
Right.
These are things you're going to do at some point. People take vacations every year, right? So if you're going to do these things and now you find a way, why spend $2,000 when that same vacation is probably going to cost you $200? Right. See what I'm saying? And also, it's a tax write-off. Everything that you do because you have a home-based business, it's a tax write-off. I get real passionate about these things because I can't believe that folks in our everyday world, it doesn't matter how much you tell them, and they're thinking that you're trying to make money. You're trying to make money. But they don't understand that you're trying to get people to understand that when we all come together, we all are going to save money and we all are going to make money. It's just that simple.
Yes,
But and I understand there's a lot of scams out there. People don't do, I talk to people sometimes and they're like, I'm going to do my research. But guess what? They're not doing their research when Beyonce is coming in town and they're going to spend $300 or $400 for that ticket. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not doing their research when they got to fly to Jamaica tomorrow or next week if they're booking a trip. They're not going to do their research. You know what I mean? And if I can log into my own website and book a flight, the same airlines, book a hotel, the same hotel, book a resort, same resort, book a cruise, same cruise, right? If I can do that, then what I'm involved with could never be a scam.
Right.
You know what I mean? Could never be a scam because I'm able to travel. And all we're saying to people is that, listen, you guys need to understand that you're working your hard-earned dollars every single week or 2 weeks, whatever time you get paid. You're working for someone. You're being stuck in traffic, being miserable. By the time you get to work, you're tired. By the time you start working, you're tired. You're still tired. And by the time you get home in the evening, you're still tired. And all we're saying to people that, listen, we want to show you something where you're not only going to be able to save money on travel, but because you partner up with us, we want to show you how you can help some other people to do the exact same thing that you just did. And because you do that, by default, everybody wins. You're winning, they're winning, and that's pretty much what this is all about.
Hey, Sal, let me ask you this. I want to just up front. Who loses with this?
Who loses?
Who loses? Is there anybody who loses? Who loses?
Who loses? Again, the guy who cannot grasp the fact that he's now in a position to save money. That's the guy that loses. The one who is very skeptical. You know, another thing I don't understand with people. This is what I don't understand with people. You share something with them, right? And of course, I understand you have every right to do your research. You have every right to do your homework. But there are people that will know that you're saving money and they still will not partner up with you because they may have some personal thing against you or whatever it is, because people don't like people for many different reasons. And they don't realize that this is not even so much about the person, it's about the opportunity. You see what I'm saying? And if someone can think about you enough to want to share something with you, it's not because they want to make money. Because listen, whether they come or not, Mel, we're still gonna do well. We're still gonna save money. We're still gonna make money, whether they come or not. So people should be grateful when you share an opportunity with them, because you're not just thinking about yourself. You're saying, hey, listen, I can help you save some money over here. So the guy that loses is the guy that doesn't have the vision to see opportunity. The guy that doesn't have, you know, they're all bent up all the time in their feelings. You know, they're looking, I think, from just a certain standpoint instead of looking at the bigger picture. You know, understanding that, you know, let me take a look at this. What do I have to lose? But yet still, they'll work their hard-earned dollars, and they will go on all these other search engines, and they will spend X amount of dollars. You know, and I always use this young lady as an example. I told her about the business a couple of months ago, and she turned it down. She said, you know what, you know, I'm not ready, whatever, okay. Guess what? She paid a few months later, just probably about a month or two ago, she went to Cancun, Mexico. And I saw her having fun in Cancun, and she was just doing her thing. So I asked her, I said, how much do you pay for that vacation? She said $2,400. So I said, guess what? If you had partnered with me, that vacation would have been free. You see what I'm saying? So 6 days, 5-night vacation. Guess what, Mel? She's now in the business. She's now in the business.
Light came on.
But she had to learn the hard way. So my thing is that if you don't open up your understanding and understand that people are trying to help you, they're not trying to just push something onto you because they want to make money. Because we love people and we love helping people. If you're in this type of business and you don't love people, then I would say don't bother to come, because we're looking for people that wants to help other people. So the people that really suffers are people that can't see opportunities. You know, people say, oh, they're praying every day. They're praying every day. They're praying. I believe that sometimes God is telling you to get up off your knees. You know what I mean? Get up off your knees. You understand what I'm saying? Because I already brought Mel into your home. I already brought Samuel in your home. I already brought people. I'm giving you opportunities every day. My thing is that if the devil can speak to you every day, then God can speak to you every day. And he does speak to you every day. But the thing is, when we pray, we already made up in our mind how we're looking for that opportunity. So we're looking down the road. We know where we're looking for to get that opportunity. We're praying for this, but God knows what's best for us. And sometimes the person that's coming to you with something, maybe that's the way that God wants you to take. Why? Because he doesn't want you to take the glory. He wants him to get the glory at all times. The glory doesn't belong to us. It belongs to God. So if you're listening on this right now, give this a try. Give this a try. Open up your mindset and understand that the very same thing that you're going to do at some point, that's what we do. And all we're trying to do is to get you to save some money and make some money if you want to make money.
Wow, that's some good stuff. Man of God, you just stepped over a whole row of toes here. I mean, the ushers are going to have to call you out. You're so right. And I want to bring it to that space where you took it. There are many good, meaning, well-intentioned people, I'm sure, that tend to think that just praying alone is the key. And they don't even understand prayer. Prayer is dialogue, not monologue.
There you go.
God talks back. And when he speaks, he's not giving you an opinion.
There you go.
He's not giving you, just something on a whim. He's giving you knowledge, which is power. He's giving you insight. He's ordering your steps. And when he
Exactly.
orders your steps, he's ordering your steps to make you more successful, to make you fruitful, to make you productive. And he often does that with a challenge. And he often does that with an opportunity. But we're the ones who get to decide. So after we've prayed, God has spoken. Now it's up for us to take what we've heard from God in prayer and to take action. And the day, man of God, woman of God, don't know who you are, where you are. Maybe God has already spoken to you concerning this. So many of the persons in our own nation, they have great jobs, but they don't have a whole lot of time. Or they have a great income, but they're up to their eyeballs in debt. And that's just the average American. And there's time for something different to happen. But it never happens differently if we keep doing the same thing. We must change to bring about the change.
That's the art of insanity, my friend. That's the art of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. You know, I tell people that in order for you to create generational wealth, you know, we all need to come together, man. We all need to come together, you know. You have a lot of people, like you were saying earlier, you have people that makes a lot of money, you know, a lot of money, but guess what? They don't have no time. They make a lot of money, but they don't have no time to spend it, you know. And you have a lot of people that don't make a lot of money, right? You understand? In other words, you have a lot of people that make a lot of money, but no time. And you got a lot of people that don't make no money, that have a whole lot of time on their hands. You know what I'm saying? They don't make any money, you know. Whole lot of money, no time. You understand? And people not making any money and still are not able to be able to see what we're trying to show them. And they're looking, they want to make money, they want to make more money, they want to have a successful life, but you present, and again, sometimes life has done, you know, and let's get to the core of this. You know, we all go through stuff in life. We all go through stuff in life. Some of us know what it feels like to be hungry. Some of us know what it feels like to get an eviction notice. Some of us knows what it is to be of our car being repossessed. Some of us know, you know, and sometimes because of the things that we go through, it cripples us mentally. So the ability to try to wanna push past those things becomes hard or difficult because we're not able to see beyond the pain, you know, or the struggles, but not realizing that there's a group of people that if you start hanging around them, just kind of shift. You know, sometimes the reason why people can't get out of their situation is because of the type of people that we associate ourselves with. You know, the people that we hang around, the people that we hang out with. Everybody have a sad story. You know, we want to hear people who can talk about, I was at this place, I was at the same place that you were, but this is how I overcame that situation. We need sometimes to come out of that from around those people. We're not saying to forget about those people. We're not saying not to talk to those people, but we're saying make a shift. Just make a shift. You know, you can still talk to your broke friends. You know, hey, listen, if all your friends are broke, then you're in trouble. You see what I'm saying? If all your friends are broke, then you're in trouble. If all your friends have a negative mindset, then you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So don't complain. Don't complain when life becomes harder and harder. Sometimes you just have to look at your circles. Who am I associating with? Who am I telling my business to? Who do I hang out with? Who do I listen, man? Let's even go to the church. Listen. Let's even go into the church, because the Bible says my people suffer because of lack of knowledge. And it says if you reject, that's why I reject you, because you reject knowledge. And especially church folks, they're praying, and they can't see nothing happening. The reason why it's not happening is because your mindset is at a whole different place. How you see God and how you perceive God is totally different. Because there's the world's economy, and then there's God's economy. You got to know how to tap into it. And that's why Jesus gave the disciples the formula when they said, Lord, teach us how to pray. Yeah. Every king has a kingdom, my friend. Yes, sir. And if you're in the confines of the kingdom, then guess what? It is the king's responsibility to take care of every single person within the kingdom. But if your mindset is elsewhere, then you can't get the blessing. That's why when he says, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And it says, Thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. And he said, give us this day our daily bread. The word daily there means that he has been giving us that every day. Today is just a new day. We're not talking about tomorrow. We're talking about today. Give us today our daily bread. And that's where people miss out, that when you have people in your life, when you have people that surrounds you, that are God-fearing people, people that have vision, people that have a purpose, and you start surrounding yourself with those type of people, some of those blessings gonna rub off on you, my brother. They're gonna rub off on you. Someone puts an opportunity in your hand, that's gonna, that's it, man. That's the bottom line. Someone leading you into where you need to go. That's it. Because we can't do this by ourselves. We can't.
Right.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard another pearl, another nugget of great wisdom. I hope you're getting this. Help us to share this broadcast. Someone needs to get this because time is running out. We know what the scripture says. A wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And let me just say this first and foremost, the most lasting inheritance is spiritual in nature. Is to make sure that you've passed on a faith that connects them to the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't think there's anything even a close second to that. But you also must make sure that you take care of the practical matters here on earth, the things in everyday life. We must make sure they are in order. Our affairs are in order. We're seeing funeral after funeral of folk who are put in a position where they've had to raise funds just to go into the ground. We're seeing over and over again people who should be happily retired. They are tiredly retired, working 2 extra jobs after retirement. We're seeing so many people we love, good people, whole life people that have been with us and we honor them. And at the end of it all, they can't pay for their medication. The system is broken.
Exactly.
The 9-to-5 thinking doesn't work. It used to, but we're not in that space anymore. We need to create additional streams of income. We need to create a wealth that's not tied to what happens on an hourly scale, on a linear scale. And the man of God is sharing with us this travel industry, an $8 trillion annual industry is massive enough to allow all of us in our network to keep doing what we're already doing, and everybody will win. Everybody will benefit, whether they're on the customer side or they're in the business side, because they'll either be saving money or making money and saving money at the same time. So, man of God, we want to thank you for sharing that. Take us in a little bit closer and let us know why pay to save. I mean, there are other options out there. There are at least a half a dozen other ways you can go into this space. Why pay to save? And I know you've looked and you've evaluated all of them. Talk to us about why pay to save. Tell us what pay to save is and tell us why pay to save.
Well, first, let me just say, I want to thank the founder of this company, Mr. David Hart. I usually jokingly says that his name should have been spelled H-E-A-R-T instead of H-A-R-T. You really want to thank God for it. He's a pretty God-fearing man, and you know that, Mel. Yes. Man of vision, and God has given this gentleman, the vision to be able to take the average person that. And I'm glad you asked that question, because the average person who has never done this before can now become successful. When you look at this industry, it's always the guys at the top that's making it. It's always the guy at the top that's making it. What this gentleman has done, he has revolutionized the way how we do business. Our comp plan is set up. All the compensation package is set up. I looked at other travel companies. I'm not bashing them. And also, let me say this too. When it comes to network marketing, if network marketing was a car, let's use that as an example. If network marketing was a car, then I would say travel is the premium gas. And without a car, without gas, a car can't move. If you look at every network marketing company on the planet Earth, they have to travel to their conventions. They need airfares, they need hotels, and in some cases, they need car rentals. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
And they need to go, they need food too, right?
Yes, sir.
They need to go to a restaurant and they need to, right?
Brother
exactly. Exactly, they gotta eat. Exactly. So when I look at this company and what this company has done, it brings everything, not just travel, not just booking a flight, booking cruises, hotels, car rentals, and all that jazz, but it also allows you to, if you want to go to the movies, you want to go your favorite gospel singer or R&B singer coming in town, you're able to log into your website and check to see if that particular artist is in your back office. And of course you're going to purchase that ticket. It's definitely going to be some savings there. So I'm not saying that other companies doesn't probably have similar, but at the same time, when you really compare also the structure in which of how this business is set up, everybody wins. Yes, I've never seen that in network marketing before, where everybody wins. I had a young lady that on my team, and I'm sure there are many other women and men on my team that can attest to the fact that they see people dropping in their organization that they didn't even put there. They didn't even put them there. And what business can you be in where you're bringing in people? The company says, Mel, all you need to do is to find 3 people and 2 customers. That's all you need. If you want to find a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, a 7th, unlimited, it doesn't matter. But you find 3 people and those 3 people stay in the business, that can change your life forever. Because all those 3 people need to do is duplicate the process. Now, one may be hearing me and said, oh, that sounds like a pyramid. And I was like, okay, when you go to your job, look at the structure. You understand what I'm saying? The only difference is that your company has hired a whole bunch of people. Right. They also gave you 90-day probation, and then you're on your own. You're on your own. The company has many people as possible. You're not benefiting from the people that you're working with. No. You see what I'm saying? So now this becomes a collective effort. And that's why everybody wins. Everybody wins because it's people again helping people. I love the structure of the way this company is set up. Let me also add, the company has been around for what, 6 years? Years. It is proven that a company that passes its 5th year mark, passes its 5th year mark. So technically speaking, this is its 1st year because the company went through all the trials and error of what it takes to build a company. So anybody that's getting on board now, and the reason why we're having success is simply because the company has now picked up momentum. Yeah. And because the company has picked up momentum, people who are coming into the business are benefiting real fast because the company has now gone through the trials and error and now a full company that's pretty much the foot is on the gas. The forecast of the company looks great. The future of the company looks great. And that's the reason why people are benefiting. So, I look at the whole structure and the way how, Mr. Hart has set up this company. There's no way. And like I said, I've looked at other industries. There's no way you can lose. Free vacations, I'm going to put it out there, $129.95. 3 free vacations. Where do you hear that? All the Westgate resorts in the US, a few resorts in Cancun in Mexico, Thailand, Spain, $129.95. Man, listen, people pay more than that to go see their favorite artists. And at the end of the day, what do they get? Just some entertainment, right? And there you go. And they still gotta pay for food. Listen to this. And they still gotta pay for food. Right. Exactly. And you're presenting people with an opportunity and you're saying, listen, you're not doing anything different from what you normally do. So just to answer your question, man, sometimes, I get excited and it's almost like, this is just too good to be true, But it is true because we're living the comp plan and we're enjoying the benefits. So I would tell anybody that if you're listening on this call, listen, you're going to be doing these things anyway. Why not save money and why not make money at the same time?
That is so incredible. I'm going to go to some of the notes before we bring it to a head here. Pastor Deborah Taylor, she says, David Hart, man of vision indeed, great company and momentum. Just last week, we're talking we were together with Mr. Hart and Todd Strand and Coach Curtis Cross and others, and we so enjoyed what we referred to as the red carpet event there in Vegas. And they said, this is what I found. Here's a company, as you just said, we're in major momentum phase, 6 years of doing business, but he has over 30 years of business experience in the traditional sense. He's operated a multi-million-dollar business at the top of his game, made a whole lot of money for himself and for his family. But 6 years ago, he started this. And here's the difference I found after talking to him personally. Now he's able, literally, as the scripture tells us, God has given us the power to create wealth, but he's not just creating it for himself.
Exactly.
So many people are becoming residually wealthy just by getting in position. And we're a company now within the neighborhood, we might have crossed over 10,000 representatives worldwide. Can you speak on how significant that is for an industry like ours?
Okay. Well, let me just say this though. 10,000 is not even that much. And you said it's worldwide. So every single person that's listening right now will understand that they're still coming in a company when it's pretty much still in its inception, because 10,000 is not that much. You know, I was with a company before that have over 100,000 reps. You see what I'm saying? And you know, so when you really look at it, we're at a very good place, right? Again, you know, back to Mr. Hart, for someone to be able to see the vision, you know, left what he was doing, not like he wasn't making money, right? He was making money before, but he understood that in order for him to help people, he would have to create a platform like this, and not just any platform, because like I said, I've been in other industry before, and I'm not trying to bash any industry, but what I'm saying is that the wisdom that God has given this man, where everybody wins, it's like unprecedented. I've never seen that before, where someone like, again, the average person can come into this business and win. I've never seen that before. And the person wins because it's a collective effort, in the sense where people are helping people. It's almost like you're forced to help the next person that's coming in.
That's the culture.
There you go. That's the culture. You're forced to help the next person. So everybody wins. Everybody wins. Generational wealth. This is the best medium I've seen so far to be able to create generational wealth. That's not taken away from your everyday life. Right. You know, you're not shipping products all over the place and keeping track of this and keeping track of that. You know. Also, if someone wants to book a destination wedding, all you need to do is just get your information, you forward over to the travel side of our company, they take care of everything, and you still get 100% of your money. That's unheard of. So in other words, you're not even doing the work. All you're doing is just presenting the information to the company, giving them, you know, the bride, the groom, everybody's information, and they take care of it, and you're getting 100% of your money.
Speak about the fundraisers.
What's that?
Speak about the fundraisers for us, because it's important. We have a number of persons representing nonprofits and ministries and outreach and all that. How can the traveling industry, I believe, serve as the most lucrative means to raise funds for your organization?
Oh man, this is, you know, I talk to church leaders, man, and I tell them, listen, you know, if you ever want a fundraiser, I can do a fundraiser cruise for your church. You know, church is always, of course, you know, church can't function without money. We know that. Yeah. Church cannot function without money. What I like is the fact that someone, you know, the church can put on a cruise, and let's say, example, the cruise costs $70 per person. Use an example, right? You as a travel specialist, right? You're the travel specialist. The church, let's say the pastors or the church is in the business. You can actually add money to that cruise as a travel specialist, right? Say, let's say you add $30 to that cruise. The cruise is now $100, right? And you have 100 people going on the cruise, right? When you really look at the money, the return, 100 people times 30, right? That's the kind of potential that the church, and then you as a travel specialist, you can even add more money to that. You can, there's a certain guideline you have, you know, where you can add money to that. But I'm saying, you know, this is a great medium in which the church, every year the church is putting on, not just people from the church, but people within the community that's going on a cruise. That's helped to build the church, build your fundraiser, allow you to be able to get some of the things done, because, you know, ministry can't survive without money. We know that. But this is just another way. You know, people are struggling on their 9-to-5 jobs. And then, of course, they got to pay their tithes, they got to pay their offering, and they got to support the church financially. What about if the church comes together and participating in these fundraiser cruises that can allow, you know, and I'm going to say this, man, I see churches doing building funds for the last 30 years, and they still can't build anything. You know what I mean? And every time you're throwing the money into the building fund, I laugh sometimes, because I'm saying, so you still can't put up a building all the years that, you know, you still can't do things to go feed the homeless. You still can't do things to go, you know, feed the needy, because they don't have the kind of money that you're supposed to use or to have to be able to further the gospel. So a fundraiser cruise, when you have this every single year, you're having fun, right? The church is coming together, not just from a spiritual standpoint, but the church is now coming together and everybody's having fun. You know, hey, some people are too so spiritual, they can't have fun, Pastor Mel. They can't have fun. I'm being honest. They're so spiritual that they cannot have fun. They're waiting to go to heaven before they have some fun. You know what I mean? And they misinterpret the scripture that says, come out from among them and be in the world, but not of the world.
You're helping us today, man. You're helping us today.
It's just sad, you know what I mean, to see. That's where lack of knowledge comes in, you know. If anybody, listen, if anybody's supposed to having real fun, it's the children of God, my friend. We should be teaching people how to have fun, okay? There you go.
So the joy we should have, we often shun it. The abundance and the increase we have, we often shun it. And many times it's because of what you've said, a lack of knowledge. We literally reject the knowledge. So ladies and gentlemen, as we bring this lunchtime interview with the man of God, H. Sam Sanders, to a close, I just want to encourage you. You've been watching this broadcast. Help us to share it with others, because we have something we know for a fact that if they got connected on either side, customer side or partnership side, one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to save money, which allows them to have the discretion of using it in other capacities, or they're going to earn more residual income and save money at the same time, which is just going to create more wins for everybody. As he said before, nobody loses with this paid to save opportunity except the person who rejects it. We want to say to you, it's not for us to say who you're connected to. If there's someone on our broadcast that you're connected to, reach out to them. We believe, my brother and I, that what God has for us is for us. And by all means, I want to encourage those of you who are a part of his circle, that is H. Sam. If he's reached out to you before, go ahead and beat him to the punch. Say, man, I'm sorry it took me so long. I just saw the interview and I want to get in position. I want to get in place. Go ahead and reach out to him right away, because I'm telling you, there is some major momentum that has been happening, but it is happening even now at more alarming and increasing rates. You're going to see at the end of this year some things that people are going to shake their head and say, how in the world did this happen like this? It's because we were in position.
There you go.
Right now, if you're watching this broadcast, you're going to spend money on travel anyway. You got a vacation planned anyway. You're going to go to that restaurant. You're going to he's already said it. You're going to watch that movie. You're going to go to a concert. You're going to go to a show. You're going to go to a sporting event anyway. You're going to shop online anyway.
Exactly.
Why pay retail prices? Why not get in position to get the wholesale prices that we can tell you in all integrity is available? We have nothing to hide, everything to show. We can go online and show you by the numbers our prices against any online vendor. It doesn't make a difference who they
Thanks,
are.
Club.
It doesn't make a difference. They're not going to beat our prices. So we say this: get in position, connect with the man of God, connect with someone that invited you on this broadcast, connect with myself, whoever it is you're connected to, get in position. I want to lastly ask our guests to give us some closing remarks. Where do we go from here? You have his website information. You see it on the screen here, www.reputationbuilders911.com. Certainly you can go there and find out more information about him. I'll be honored that you connected him with him at the same time. Of course, my information, PastorMelKeys.com. Connect with me, and we'll be grateful for that divine connection. H. Sam, take us home, man. Give us some closing comments. I want to thank you again and honor God for your time. I enjoyed this lunchtime with you, man. I've been inspired. I've been encouraged. I'm ready to run this thing, man. And the end of the year, I'm excited about the fact that many people wait for the new year. My new year already done started.
There you go. There you go.
So grateful, and I'm so encouraged by what God is doing in relationships like ours with our CEO and many of our leaders, Pastor Deborah, Curtis, and so many others who are extraordinary leaders in their own right. And we've come together for this network. We're taking not ourselves, but we're taking communities of people to a whole new level based upon what their vision is, just because we're in position. Take us home, my friend.
Yes, sir. Let me just first say, man, I really appreciate you and love you, man. And it's a beautiful thing when you know that your steps are ordered. Beautiful thing, man, because when your steps are ordered, man, nothing is an accident. Things was already designed and set in motion, and God does not leave you without a witness. God always lead you to the right people, or with the right people, or partner up with the right people. So I want to thank God for you, man, and just your leadership. And for the first time we met each other, it says we just kind of just connect. And the last Friday was actually my first live presentation, because I like to stay behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Just like to stay behind the scene, but you kind of push me out there. So just want to thank God for you. So yeah, that's I love to stay behind the scenes, man. But when God wants you to do something, you just have to just step up and just get it done. I hope this will not be the last. That we'll have more times together like this and being able to share to everyone. Let me just say this to everyone that's listening right now. Listen to your heart and listen to your heart. Listen to if there's anything, we are here to answer every questions that you may have. You have access to Pastor Mel. You can inbox us. Just any questions that you may have in regards to this call. We are able to, and we're there to answer every question. Start finding people. And I'm just, want you guys to listen to this. Start hanging around people that are going somewhere in life, and all the men on this call right now. And I want you guys to just share the live, because I want every brother, especially to brothers, men, when they say iron sharpened iron, when men can come together and build together and work together. Some of you men, some of you are married, you're in relationships, you're supposed to be the head of your house. You're supposed to be the head of your household. You're the one who's supposed to be leading. And sometimes the paycheck that you have just ain't cutting it. You know what I mean? But when you partner with other men, believe me, together we can be stronger. We can be good men. Because by ourselves, we just hanging out by ourselves and doing stuff by ourselves, we are weak, because we're open to all kind of stuff that the enemy throws at us. But when we come together as men and start working together and building together, both emotionally, financially, physically, spiritually, then unity becomes strength, and we're able to help each other. And that's why we fail sometimes, because we're not there to support each other as men. So, I'm speaking to the men right now that we need to get rid of the ego. You know what I mean? Get rid of all those egos. Get it through throw it through the window. Nothing is wrong in we can compete, but we should not compare. There's nothing wrong with friendly competition. You know, I can say, man, how many souls you gonna save this month? How many people, how many lives you gonna save this month? Someone that was struggling financially, how many lives? Oh, I'm gonna do 30 this month. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do 50 this month. You know, we can always compete, but never compare. You know, we should always look at our abilities and use our strengths and abilities to help the next person. So, man, I'm talking to you right now because this is where we fail. This is the reason why, you know, women look at us the way they look at us. Why? Because we're stepping up and being men. We need to come together, work together, because we're, like I said, when we're by ourselves, we're weak. Right. But when we come together, unity is strength. You know, every single person on this call, just at least try this. Even if you want to come in as a customer, you know, for $99, a person can come into as a customer and still get a free vacation. You work a 9-to-5 job, you're going to take vacation every year. Some people are at home right now. They're on vacation, but they're at home because they're living from paycheck to paycheck. So for $99, you can now take a free vacation every year. Every year it's $99. Plus you get $1,000 in shopping and dining, right? So you're saving money, right? As a customer. So you may not, you know, be the person that wants to join the business, but at least as a customer, take your wife on a vacation, my brother. You know what I mean? Take your wife on a vacation for $99, my friend, for $99. So just you know, everything that we're saying to you, we have already tried it. We have already proved it. And I love the you know, Mr. Hart talks about integrity, being integral. You know, we're not trying to get you to just be a part of something. We're trying to get you to be a part of a movement that's going to change and transform your life, not just financially, but also builds you up and for you to become a better person and for you to have a better perspective on life. You know, I always use the term like this: I'm not going out like a punk. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going out like a punk. You know, I may not be where I want to be, but at least I'm trying to get there. And I understand that I have to help a whole lot of people in order for me to get where I need to go. And that's the beauty about life. You know, a lot of us are doing things and we're doing things selfishly. I want to be a part of something where I'm helping people. And that's the best reward you could ever have, than to know that someone calls you and said, hey, because of you, I'm able to do this. Nothing can, for me personally, nothing can change that feeling. So I just want to, you know, implore everyone today that's listening, share this so that your friends can hear it, that there's a set of people somewhere. There's a group of people somewhere, 10,000 of us strong somewhere, that cares about you. People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. Turn them on to us. We're going to help them, not just help them, put them on a path, but we're also going to train them. We're going to teach them everything that they need to know to become successful, not just financially, but how to be good men and women in today's society. Thank you, my brother. God bless.
Man. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it yourself. Let's share. Somebody said sharing is caring. We say Georgina, thank you so much. Lady Chantella, thank you so much. Pastor Deborah Taylor, thank you so much. Dr. Sita, thank you so much, darling. Lady Sharon, thank you so much for joining in with us. All of those who have stopped by, you have made our day so much better. Maddie, Katrina, Pastor Ronson, we love you. Help us to get this message out. We are Joshua Generation, and we are claiming God's promises together right here, right now. Father's favor. Goodbye, everybody.
Yes, sir. Okay.